also have been with us in some time. Today's episode is kind of interesting in the sense that we are going to focus on the effects of Rajyoga meditation on affective and cognitive functions. Now, before we go into the topic and I ask the questions that we have to ask Dr. Kanishka and Chaya, a quick introduction to iChaya Support Foundation. iChaya Support Foundation is a not-for-profit organization. We focus on creating awareness about mental health and offering mental support for those who are looking for any of those supports. As a part of iChaya Support Foundation, there are two major projects that we are running right now. One is the Visit MHP Challenge, which is about encouraging more and more people to visit mental health practitioner, not just when you have a disorder, but actually when you are in a happy state, when you are in a comfortable state. Okay, just I'm not sure if we're still live or not, so I'm just checking that. If we are, then I would be taking it forward in 2 minutes. Sorry everyone, if you are watching us, there's a slight technical issue that we are facing. Just give me 2 minutes and we are getting this sorted. More seconds for me to be able to sort this out. So I can see that we are already live on the iChaya's YouTube channel and the iChaya's Facebook channel. I'm just also sorting out and checking out what's the status with SpARC channel. So it seems we are live everywhere right now already. So we are going to start in 30 seconds once again. So let me just do a quick recap. I'm going to start with hello everyone, welcome once again. So after a slight technical snag, we're back. Today we are going to talk about the effect of Rajyoga meditation on affective and cognitive function. I have with me Dr. Kanishka Sharma and Chaya sister. Now, before we go into the topic, a quick introduction about iChaya and iChaya Support Foundation. So, iChaya Support Foundation is a non-profit organization. Its focus is on helping people improve their mental health, and we do that both by creating awareness about the importance of mental health and also by offering different services at an affordable or free rates for people who are looking for mental health support. This series on PsychTalks on meditation is actually a part of that initiative to create more and more awareness about the importance of mental health. As a part of IHR Support Foundation, there are two major initiatives that we are running right now. One is the Visit MHP Challenge, which is about encouraging more and more people to visit a mental health practitioner, not just when they have a disorder, but when they're already happy and they would like to improve the quality of their life and they would like to, for the lack of another word, become happier. And then there is the other one, which is the Project Rainshine, where we are reaching out to more and more people to create awareness about mental health and also to help them understand what is it that they can do as a part of their day-to-day life to improve their mental health, which then takes care of both aspects of mental health from our point of view. One, how do you take care of yourself, self-care, and when and to visit a mental health practitioner, and how you will benefit by visiting a mental health practitioner. As I said, as a part of these initiatives, we want to create awareness about mental health, and the Psych Talks for meditation is an effort that we are putting in that direction. Psych Talks for meditation has only been possible because of all the work that has been put in by the team at the SpARC wing from Brahma Kumaris and the backend team at iChars. You see us, you feel that we are here, we are the one doing all the work, but probably we are doing the least amount of work. There are a lot of people in the back end who are actually responsible for us to get this particular show up and running. So, a big thank you to all the people who have helped us and supported us in creating these lives and being able to take it out so that we can reach out to more and more people. About today's episode, so I have with me Dr. Kanish and Chaya Ben. Dr. Ganesh is working as a postdoctoral fellow at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, India. He is desiring for a full position in related fields of neuroscience and cognitive sciences. His strengths are psychosociological research with human subjects, research, project management, and writing for research grants. He is also mentoring undergraduate and postgraduate students for their internship projects and has been involved in research work for a long, long time. He has done his PhD on effects of long-term meditations on April 2019, Human Attentions Network, study of electrophysiological indices. He is a member of the International Brain Research Organization, annual member of Society of Neurosciences, member of Cognitive Science Society, life member of Indian Academy of Neuroscience. Welcome, Dr. Kanishk.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Mr.
Hi.
Nitin, and thank you, ICHRS, to organize such a beautiful concept. I think we have already covered 7 episodes. I think this is the seventh episode which we are
This
covering.
is the seventh episode.
And I would also like to greet Chaya.
Thank
Om
you so
Shanti.
much. Shanti. Om
So we
Shanti.
also have with us Chayaben. Chayaben is has been associated with Brahma Kumaris for a long, long time. She has practiced Raja Yoga from her childhood. She is presently rendering services in one of the Brahma Kumaris local centers in Bangalore. She completed her PG diploma in journalism and mass communication. She is a core member of Youth Wing and SpARC Wing of Brahma Kumaris. She has been conducting management classes on various topics like stress management, personality development, living values, positive thinking, and so on in corporates, colleges, and schools for the past 20 years. Welcome, Chayaban.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Nice to be with you again.
Thank you.
Thank
I would
you.
like to thank both of you for joining us today again. Both of you are here for the second round of this interaction.
Yes.
So, today we are going to focus on the effect of Raja Yoga on the affective and cognitive functions. So, Dr. Kanish, quickly, anything that you would like to say in the beginning before I get into the questions?
Yeah, I think pretty much we have covered most of the researches done by researchers in India or abroad about the Raj Yoga meditation. Moreover, it is also important for us to know that why meditation research, that the whole domain has been empowered by many researchers across the globe. If I look back into around 1985, that was the very first paper which was published as a peer-reviewed article in a peer-reviewed journal, and this was the initiation of the papers for Raju for meditation. Post that, if we see at the graph of 2014, around 1500 papers, 1500 peer review papers were published in a single year. So you can imagine that how this whole domain has been like flourishing since last 2 or 3 decades. And the importance of meditation research, like I would also like to discuss maybe in the end when the questions will be over, or whenever if the time allows, I would like to discuss more about why this whole domain of meditation research is important. So yeah, and I think we will be listening from Chavan also, and about how this particular Raj Yoga meditation is being, is taking subjects on a, like, taking volunteers or human beings on a very different journey, and then they're like they have been empowered, and most of the people who were having any kind of psychosomatic disorders, or even were not having any disorders, but they tried to desire, or they desired for any kind of psychosomatic well-being, they received it from the foundation, from the organization, by regularly practicing the Raj Yoga meditation. So I think, yeah, it is. It will be wonderful to listen from her also about it. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. And Chavan, anything that you would like to say in the beginning before we go ahead?
No, I just would like to thank everyone because this is such a beautiful initiative. Just like how we have spiritual leaders in our country, where every corner there is knowledge coming up. So it's only that I need the willpower. I need to pave my way and take the course and move ahead. So this is one of the greatest initiative by ICHARs and the Brahma Kumaris, and we have such noted and enabled researchers like Kanish Bhai, who are also doing research and paving the way to every layman. So I request each and every one to take benefit of this to the utmost level. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So let's start with the questions quickly, Dr. Kanishk. So, in your understanding, how does meditation affect brain and mind?
All right. So yeah, it's a very prevalent question, and most of the people right now, especially in 21st century, are looking forward for for this answer, because meditation, you see, you don't have to inject anything in your bloodstream. You don't have to put any gadget on your brain or in other place, or you don't need to even go to hills or do something else. See, the meditation is a very simple process. You just need to sit down, and while sitting down, you have to follow certain practices. For different kind of meditation, you have to follow different kind of practices, and based on that guideline, whatever has been given to you by the teacher, by your meditation teacher, you will learn that and then you follow it. So, and it brings phenomenal changes in your behavior. But it is again a matter of question that how and what exactly are the changes which are basically happening due to the meditation practice in the physiology, anatomy, or let's say the whole functioning of the brain, as well as the hypothetical entity which we call as mind. So, if we go back to, as I was talking about, that 1985, so people have started research since 1950s only about how meditation is impacting on brain, and they try to make some solid methodologies to find out how meditation is bringing changes. They found like changes in different kind of domains, like in the psychological health. Found changes in emotional, behavioral, and cognitive health. They found some changes in neurobiological indices, where, like, very recently, some studies have been published where they are saying that endocrine related changes, metabolic related changes, metabolism related changes, as well as immune system enhancement. also have been found out with the help of meditation, regular meditation practice. Cancer and other prolonged illnesses, suffering due to chronic illnesses. This is again another domain where meditation has, provided its effect not only on the patient but also on the caregiver. Along with that, physiological indices such as EEG pattern, brain area activation, which we check through fMRI or PET scan or any other imaging methods, and along with that, our autonomic nervous system, which we basically cover with which we basically explore with the help of electrocardiography as well as galvanic skin response and so many other kind of techniques which records the physiological activity of the body and the brain. So those kind of changes we have found. Along with that, in the literature support about the neuropsychological findings also when people have given a brief meditation intervention for a very small population or maybe they gave or they tested this whole EEG pattern, brain area activation, or any other kind of techniques when they have tested on long-term meditators. So they have found out that their attentional capacities, working memory capacity, cognitive flexibility, awareness about self, that is the meta-awareness, decision making, and high workload capacity, along with that, disengaging attention from negative stimuli, all these neuropsychological findings they have received that, yeah, all these capacities, all these capabilities have been increased, found to be increased in a certain population. Along with that, it is also important to know that, how people have classified meditation and on the basis of attention regulation, body awareness, emotion regulation, and self-perception. They have classified. And when they classify according to these four different domains, it is also expected to get some changes related to this attention, body awareness, whether it's about emotional regulation or it's about the self-perception. Along with that, people have found phenomenal changes in gray matter even after meditating for even 7 days. 7 days, 45 minutes per day, and around 7 days of meditation practice, they could create changes in their gray matter. And the gray matter area, which basically is basically composed of the neurons, the nerve cells, which hardly grows after the age of 20. People have found out changes and even the growth, the volume related changes in the gray matter. Along with that, they found changes in white matter also. White matter is basically nothing but it's the connection between two brain areas, and how the brain transmit information from one place to another place. It's basically through the white matters. And even with my study also, we have found out that Rajyoga meditation specifically has created a very significant changes in the corpus callosum area, which is bridging the right and the left hemispheres. Along with that, some changes related to genetics have been found out. So yeah, these all different kind of changes are there, which like many researchers across the globe have been exploring, and yeah, more so many different kind of methodologies have been utilized, and people have used different techniques, whether it is invasive, whether it is non-invasive, and they came to a conclusion, yeah, that meditation is doing something it is bringing some very definite change, definite change it is bringing in the body as well as the brain functioning.
Perfect. So those are some really interesting effects that the meditation has on the mind. Right? And for a lot of you who are watching us right now, remember these are the key changes that you are also looking at creating in our lives so that we can live a happier, healthier life. So if you can have all of those changes as a result of certain meditative practices, well, I think sometime in a day invested towards this meditation is always a good idea, right?
Yes.
So Let me ask the next question to Chayavan. So, Chayavan, we have heard that most of the BK students are regular and committed. What is the secret behind this teaching?
Yes. So, any person committed to anything, there is a big reason behind that. So, you are committed to your family, you are committed to your friends, you are committed to the society, you are committed to your own country. So, why does this commitment come? One is the deep inner love or interest for that. So, whenever that is there, your commitment is there. And commitment, when it is there, I can see that your life is getting progressive and your life is enhanced, it is full. You have a profound dimension of all the qualities that you require, everything that you require in your life. And that's the reason why this regularity, why this regularity is there in each and every student, because they are committed towards some goal. What is that goal? That my life has to be peaceful, and not only that, I am committed to keep my family, my society, and the world at large at peace. So this can happen when I am with the self, when I can understand the self that I am the being of peace, I am the being of love, I am the being of power, I am the being of knowledge. So when this is there, every time, every day, each second you start to crave for something new. You start to take something new. And in this process, the regularity starts. And when there is regularity, commitment is already there. So, interest and love towards anything brings commitment. And that's what I can see in this institution, Brahma Kumaris. You can find various people from different professions, various people. There are people who are to the earth, down to the earth, they are so innocent, never had any formal education, no schooling, nothing. There are people who have done their PhDs, postdoctorates, and you find them. There are people from IT professions, doctors, different. And why each and every person is committed. So whether it is towards the study of Raj Yoga, whether it is practice or anything, or a transformation in their life, why everybody is committed? Because the life, the enhancement of the powers in their life, where every step they can find that it is easy for them to solve problems rather than being in that problem and thinking why this happened, why it should not be like this, why it should. So you become the factor of solving things rather than being on the other hand, on the other court of always keep asking question why, and getting entangled in that problems. And this is the greatest reason I feel.
Perfect. So I think there are a couple of very important points for everyone who's watching us right now. One is, if you really want to achieve something, it's important that you need to be committed. But that commitment actually comes if you have clarity about why you are doing what you are doing and what do you want to really do. So that setting a goal, that setting an outcome is extremely, extremely important. Even if your outcome is your peace, your happiness, peace and happiness of your family members, that's okay. But at least there's something you're starting with. And once you have that, the chances that you will be able to remain committed are considerably higher than actually trying to be committed for something that you have no idea for. And I guess that's kind of commonsensical, right? Second is, it's important that you also start committing towards your own mental well-being. Now, whether you are doing Raja Yoga meditation, or you are doing some other meditation, or you are following some other practices which are helping you improve your physical health and your emotional health, but it's extremely important that that commitment towards your well-being is there. That is what will help you in being able to sustain yourself, grow yourself in multiple ways going forward. Perfect. So let's go to the next question. Chaivan, what are the Raj Yoga modules or meditation practices that can help the people to improve their mental health?
One is, see, we have so many things in our meditation practices. We have, as you have all heard, about 1 minute of meditation. So we have the traffic control. So where you take out time, few minutes time to be in your own thoughts, to create that thought and comes to a stable mindset. So apart from this, we have collective meditations, we have commentaries which help you out, we have relaxation techniques, and we have different types of meditations to reach out to people, to help people. Like as you said, mental well-being is such an important thing. It's nothing but you are healing your own mind. So healing starts with your own thoughts. So it starts with your own feelings, it starts with your experience. So once a person has started to experience something, I feel that it is their journey that they have started, a stepping stone that they have put ahead. So, like this, they themselves can start to explore new things. Once they have come to know what is the mental well being, it's not just the superficial thing. I need to realize in depth what is the mental well being in different situations. Not one beautiful situation, not one situation where everything is smooth. In different situation, how do I maintain my mental well being? See, if I have the knowledge, I have the base for that. So I can explore different dimensions. I can explore different directions to that. And hence, as you said, it is so clear for me what for I am committed and what is the step that I need to take and how it helps me to sustain myself in different situations, in different places, different times, which is more important for me.
Perfect. Brilliant. Uh, let's come back to the research, Dr. Kanish. And would you be able to give us a brief context about this study and what was the objective of doing this study?
Yeah. So are you talking about this paper which we are going to discuss here?
Correct.
Okay. So basically, this study was done it was basically a collaborative study done by three different institutes. And the paper which is published is a very small part of the findings which we received. So the collaborative institutes were like three different institutes of Defense Research and Development Organization. First was Defense Institute of Physiological and Allied Sciences, that is DIPAS. Second institute was Defense Institute of Psychological Research, and third was Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences. So all the three institutes in with the help of or in coordination with the SpARC or Brahma Kumaris, um, they tried to they actually attempted to find the changes which is happening with respect to the long-term meditation practice, or whether when they compare with the short-term meditators also. So in this particular study, 100 individuals were screened based on the selection criteria. The exclusion criteria, the inclusion and exclusion criteria was very simple. It was the age was 25 to 50 years was the range of age, and both genders were included. Female and male subjects were included, and subjects who were practicing Rajyoga meditation for even for a month, and even for like around 10 years. So 1 month to 10 years was the range of meditation practice. Out of 100 individuals, 64 were selected for the data collection. So this data collection was basically done for psychological as well as affective and cognitive functions. So some tasks were used as well as some of the questionnaires were given to the subjects. And again, the same thing that they try to compare the effect of meditation in beginner as well as on the experts of Raj Yoga meditation. So yeah, some of the cognitive domain which were explored were memory, visual processing, neuroticism, hope, and happiness scale. Along with that, attention test was also used for it.
Okay. Perfect. And all right, so that's quite a lot of things that have been tested as a part of this particular research, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, before we go ahead with the research, I have a question for Chayaban again. That Chayaban, how does Raj Yoga meditation help with physical well-being? You just spoke about the mental health. How does it help with the physical well-being?
Um, as Kanishka was already telling, so we have already done so many experiments on the physical well-being. So it could be some critical cases, or it could be very mild or simple cases also. So as our own mindset has got a great impact on your body. So we know that the energy that flows from the mind, that is our own thoughts. It goes to each and every organ or each and every cell of our body. It starts to get rejuvenated. So a focused thought, a focused, elevated, and most powerful thought, when it is towards something, naturally there is a kind of deep inner healing, which is very natural. So that could be in critical cases, that could be in mild cases, or that could be in simple cases. So that is the reason why, from the beginning, from the olden days, we have a system called pray as soon as you get up. Why the system is, there in already imbibed in our culture or in our life. The reason behind that is as soon as you get up, you need to be mentally well, you need to be physically well, you need to get tuned to physical and mental well-being, so that your whole day is so beautiful, your whole day is so powerful and empowered. If mentally I am negative, if mentally I am very low, that has a great impact on your body. Without any reason you feel so low, without any reason you feel your body is not got that energy, without any reason I feel that I will not be able to do anything, I don't have the capacity, I don't have the energy in my body. So what is the reason behind all this is it is our own mental state of mind. So it is so important for us to again get back to the roots, roots of coming back to our empowerment. It is through our, meditation, prayer, or it could be thoughts, it could be shloka, mantra, anything for that matter. So it's so important for us. And that's the reason why, we all know that. So it is our mind which is, driving our body, not the car which is controlling the driver. No, it's so beautiful. But then most of the time we feel that I go to the gym, I go for walk, I go for everything. Yes, fine. But my mind is low, it has great impact on the body. So it should be a beautiful balance between my mind and body. So how much time I give to my body, that much time I need to give to my mind, so that it is balanced. Otherwise, too much of this and less attention to the body is also a great loss. And too much of attention to the body and less attention to the mind is also a great loss. It is a great loss, which I can say. And that's why, as soon as I get up, I wind up my day. It is important for me to rejuvenate my whole body with that positive energy. It is a must, so that each day is very new for me. Each day is I have that 100% energy. Otherwise, it is so difficult for us to cope up with things. Naim.
Perfect. You're saying something, sorry.
No, I just wanted to mention the fast pace that things are going on. We feel somewhere we are lost, We feel some kind of detachment from the world, a kind of somewhere I'm not able to cope up or do anything. The reason behind is we don't rejuvenate our mind and body together. That balance has to come now. So we need to take that initiative very deeply in our lifetime. And then that balance takes us ahead. Thank you.
Perfect. So, while I probably am not the right person to talk extensively about Raj Yoga meditation, what I can say to all of you is that the impact of mind on the body is incredibly vast. With the kind of clients that we work with, it's it's interesting how people may have pains and uh, challenges as far as their physical bodies are concerned, where they've just not been able to find any medical cause behind it. And it's just so interesting that you're able to work with their mind, and then you realize that all of those pains that they were experiencing, some of those psychosomatic illnesses that they were having, all of them were being created by the mind. And the moment you work with the mind, you're able to work with them and overcome them. There are, if I have to just give an example to help you understand the kind of people who can benefit from focusing on their mental processes and ensuring that they're committed to improving their mental processes. We have had people that we have worked with allergies, we have had people we have worked with aches, pains, chronic pains that have been there for years and years together. And some of them have almost given up that they will probably never be able to recover from those pains and those allergies and those problems. And then they start working on their mind and some kind of a magic happens.
Yes, I
So,
just want to interrupt for 1 minute.
sure.
It is I we have found that something that they are holding in their mind, and they when once they release that, their pain in the body is also released. We
Correct.
have found n number of cases like this.
And there are a lot of researches that happens on those lines. There are books like Heal Your Life. There are other researches that a lot of people are doing, which actually talk about how specific parts of the body can be indicators of specific types of emotions that we may be holding on to. And how being able to release those emotions, learn from those emotions, can really help us in being able to deal with, well, as I said, aches, pains, and a lot of other psychosomatic issues that people are facing almost on a day-to-day basis. So, for all of you out there, physical health is important. It's extremely important, but so is mental health. And many times, the physical health is highly, highly influenced by your mental health. So, please don't ignore that. Please don't forget that. Please pay attention to that. And there is support available if you are not sure how to work with those thoughts, those emotions that are becoming intrusive and that you are not able to figure out how to work with. Right? So, go out there, seek help, ask for support, and there are a lot of people who are available to support. Now, coming back to the research, Dr. Kanishka, um, could you define in detail what were the psychological and functional outcomes, and how did the research measure the same?
Yeah, with respect to this study, which we are discussing right now, like some of these classical psychological questionnaires were taken. So that's one scale was neuroticism scale of NEO-PI revised. So this scale is basically characterized by a general tendency to experience negative effects such as fear, sadness, embarrassment, anger, disgust, and guilt. So individuals which are having high score, they also are going to have irrational ideas and are less able to control their impulses and cope more poorly than others with stress. So this was one of the questionnaire which was presented to the volunteers, presented to the subjects, and six different facets of neuroticism which this has assessed was anger, anxiety, hostility, depression, self-consciousness, impulsiveness, as well as the vulnerability. Along with the neuroticism scale, the next scale which was used was the adult hope scale. And adult hope scale measured hope in a very psychological, maybe the cognitive model of hope was basically checked with this. The third scale which was used was happiness scale, and this happiness scale basically is a four-item scale of global subjective happiness. Two items basically ask the subjects to characterize themselves using both absolute ratings and ratings related to their peers. Whereas the other two items offers brief description of happy and unhappy individuals and ask respondents or the subjects to the extent of which each characterization describes them. The third like scale which was like taken was quality of life QOL, and this QOL is basically assessed. It can assess individuals' quality of life through self-reporting of the importance they attach to each of six life domains. What all these six life domains were? Like physical and material well-being, relationship with other people, that interpersonal relationship, social civic activities, along with that personal development and fulfillment. Again, then the next was recreation and the independence of the ability to do anything for yourself. So these all different facets are included when the questions related to them were asked in QOL scale. Next, two different tests also basically were taken from the subjects. So these were pen paper test for in which subjects or volunteers were basically asked to maybe draw a picture or provide the responses using a pen on on paper, a sheet which was provided to them. So this one of the tests was basically a complex figure test, and it is basically to evaluate the dysfunction in visual perception as well as the long term. So, along with that, there's another test which was utilized. It was RAVLT, known as Auditory Verbal Learning Test. It was also defined by NIMHANS, and they validated it. And this test battery was also utilized. So all these cognitive, affective, as well as the uh, psychological domain were tested, and like the findings were very good, and they found that the groups which were practicing Raj Yoga for longer duration had significantly less neurotic symptoms, and they scored high on hope and happiness scale, and also their cognitive functions such as visual perception and this long-term memory were found to be increased as compared to the Rajoga meditators who have recently started practicing. So yeah, this was one of the key finding as a conclusion, which was described in the statement.
Okay, perfect. And what were the key takeaways from the study?
Yeah, so the takeaways were that see, when somebody is practicing any kind of meditation. So based on this study, like what I have concluded is that the groups which were practicing Raj Yoga for longer duration that found less neurotic symptoms and have high scores of hope, happiness, and these kind of indices which are really important for you to live healthy, live happily in this world full of stresses. Every day we have to cope up with many kind of stresses. People who are working in multinational, or not even multinational, any kind of job they are doing, they have pressure of work, they have pressure of their seniors loading them with extra work, or sometimes the office environment itself is a stressor. Sometimes in their home also they don't find peace. So yeah, in this whole environment, if somebody is practicing and after practicing for a longer time, if these kind of indices are coming on a higher scale, that means yeah, they are satisfied with their life, and might be there is a possibility that due to their personality development, self-actualization, better attention and concentration which they achieved due to the training of Raj Yoga, it might have impacted this affective cognitive processing of those individuals.
Okay, perfect. So now that we have covered the takeaways, you have also spoken about the research more or less completely. Chavan, there are a couple of questions that I have for you. One is, could you throw some light on the Rajoga learnings that are in correlation to psychology?
Yes, definitely. What psychology is nothing but a beautiful link between mind and behavior, right? It's such a beautiful link. So you call it cognitive psychology, call it behavior psychology, call it social psychology. You can call it in any number of ways. But what psychology teaches us is what it is something like your mind has got certain pattern of thoughts, and based on those pattern of thoughts you start to behave in that pattern. So can I change that pattern of my thinking? Because each situation demands a different decision, each situation demands a different kind of mindset, thoughts. So, what Raj Yoga meditation teaches us is it is such a beautiful way to really mold myself in different situations, not only with my behavior, because there are certain levels. See, your behavior can change for to certain extent. Your intellectual level can change. Your emotional level can change. But what about the conscious level? Where which holds my thoughts, which holds my decision, which holds my imprints, which we call the sanskars. So the way I look at deep rooted sanskars, can I really keep track of that so that so it doesn't come out when I don't want it? So when it correlates to psychology, I can say that it has got such a big link to psychology. This is a spiritual science and it is also a psychology. Why? Because your mindset is so beautiful. So you are tuned to certain thoughts where the situation demands that. And it is so easy for you to just overcome that situation. Whereas, on the other hand, whenever there is a situation, always you are entangled into different thought patterns. It could be negative, it could be waste, it could be unconnected. So, cognitive psychology teaches us that what your thoughts are like, what your feelings are like, what is your attention pattern like. Now, how is it connected to the behavior? So, in Raj Yoga, what we say is before your actions or behavior, before your words, the seed is your thought. Where from it is emerging? Is it coming from my inner imprints, the sanskar? Is it coming from the outside world, from the media, from people, from the knowledge outside? Where is that seed emerging out? And once I keep track of that seed, it is emerging from the deep inner values that I hold. I will also know how to sustain that, how to really bring it up, how to grow it and bring it into my behavior. So, slowly to some percentage, we will find that the Raj Yoga teaches us to take hold of your own thought pattern. Whereas your behavior is just on the track of your thought pattern. So there is no kind of repentance. Why did I behave like this? Why did I take decision like this? Why did I think like this? Why did I speak like this? So I can say that Raj Yoga is a kind of deep understanding of myself, where to get involved, where to not get involved, where to speak up, where not to speak up. So it is such a kind of deep introspection where you can find that I am not jumbled up with my own thoughts. So that we say that we are not unwell psychologically. We are not
Perfect.
so very good in psychologically. So I can say that it is such a big stand. You can stand on that and feel that yes, you are there with your thought patterns, with your own energy to overcome everything and anything in this world. And that willpower starts to develop in you. When there is a willpower, I can say 100% guarantee there is nothing that takes you away from peace, takes you away from your own mental wellness. You are psychologically very well. You are mentally very well.
Perfect. And for also, because a lot of times people feel that it is not so easy to be able to manage your thoughts and it is not so easy to be able to manage your emotions.
Yes,
See, when you're working with yourself, there will always be some amount of commitment, there will always be
yes,
some amount of work that you'll have to put in. And that's where a lot of work with respect to meditation and self work comes into play. Having said that, if you feel that you're not able to put in that effort, for whatever reason, your willpower is a bit weak and you are not sure why, in spite of knowing that you need to meditate, you're not meditating. I'm saying this again that there are ways in which you can consult specialists who can help you manage your thoughts, manage your emotions, can help you
yes,
develop a stronger willpower. And there are ways of being able to work with things like Chayaben spoke about the different layers in which people can have problems, right? You will notice that these layers are actually quite evident. You have certain thoughts, certain emotions which are bothering you, which are affecting you. Those thoughts and those emotions can be a part of your environment. Your inability to manage that environment, your inability to handle that environment may be something that's affecting you and is stopping you from being able to live a happier life. But it's not always about an external environment. There are also places where your thoughts, your emotions are being powered by your own underlying beliefs, your own underlying values, even the identity that you have because of what you have seen people in your family behave like, the practices that they follow, the way they identify themselves with certain things. The same way we end up identifying with them, and we end up incorporating those identities as a part of our beliefs, as a part of our thought processes. And those identities themselves could be coming from deeper experiences that we have had in our life. And it's possible to work with each of those layers. Go out there, explore meditation, explore other practices which will help you manage yourself better. If you're able to do that, kudos, brilliant, all the best. If you seek help, there are people who can help you deal with each of these layers as well. So please reach out and seek support if you need to. I think with that, more or less, we have covered everything that we wanted to cover for today's episode. Before we end, Kanish bhai, anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, pretty much the more or less the discussion about paper is already covered. Uh, I just wanted to bring light on what is the importance of working on meditation research. So as I started in the beginning, so why it is like why people will say that why should we even fund you? Why what is the significance which you are bringing in human life? What is the significance which you are bringing in people's life? Spiritual organizations are already there. They are like whether it is scientific, whether it is not, but they are bringing changes. So here it is very important for us to know that see science even being have their own it has its own boundaries, but along with that, it has defined some scales so that we can measure that some changes happening, whether it is about human health, whether it is about some social changes. So, when somebody asked me that why meditation is important, why did you select meditation research as a domain to work on? Why didn't you go to some vaccination research program or any kind of other things? So my answer to them was always that see, it's always it's my privilege to get associated with such a big spiritual organization, Brahma Kumaris, and for research specifically, and when you see people's life getting changed, when you see that they are actually experiencing the effect of it. Some people might be practicing properly, some people might not be practicing properly. So it is very much of importance to find out those factors that the particular practice which the teachers are, guiding to the meditation teachers are guiding to you, should be, understood very well and should be followed very well. So for that, it is very much of importance that we explore that how and what kind of changes uh, meditation practice these specific instruction can bring. And holistically, if we look at this, so meditation is a very wonderful tool. It is bringing changes, even like in human life, particularly with their psychosocial, psychosomatic, as well as the cognitive health. Along with that, for the like meditation practice also has a huge social impact. It's a non-invasive intervention for well-being. So, when we were talking about, the psychotherapies and all the support which is required for people, but not even, get access to it. So there is a very important factor. It's a fact
Kanish
that,
bhai,
yeah,
yeah, sorry.
yeah. So it's a fact that you see most of the people who are going to get consulted with a psychiatrist could be treated well with psychologist only, a clinical psychologist. So a therapist could have done a very good work if they could have reached there. So ultimately, meditation may create huge revenue benefits in terms of national and maybe global medical expenditures if we are able to find out the mechanisms of meditation and how it is bringing, that positive impact on life, whether it is somatic, whether it is psychological, whether it is cognitive. So yeah, this is these are all very important terms to important things to understand that something as something is bringing changes. Thank you.
Perfect, brilliant. Thank you. Um, and Chayaban, in the end, there is one question that I have for you, which is, are there any separate meditation techniques for busy people in day-to-day life?
I just wanted to answer this. It had come in my mind before you asked this question. So it is like a busy schedule or not a busy schedule, it is our plan, right? I have created that plan. So I have the plan, and the plan is my creation, and I'm the creator. I had that thought. So I can create that plan to be very busy. I can create some buffer time for my own self. It all depends on me. So I need to take charge of that. So, too busy in the sense you can just take out 1 minute of time. As I was saying, there is one technique called the traffic control. So, when you are on the streets driving away, the signal you have to stop. One way to control speeding drivers, right? The same way, I can adopt this technique for myself if I'm too busy. I'm on the journey, I'm cooking, I'm eating. Let me relish my food with those beautiful thoughts, with the remembrance of God, with the gratitude. So, these are all small, small techniques of meditation, which brings profound amount of energy into yourself because the energy is there decimated to your food. So simple things like that, a feeling of gratitude, a feeling of thanks, traffic control of your thoughts. So whilst driving, just 1 minute, come back to those beautiful thoughts of peace. Come back to the thoughts of power within you, of spreading peace to the peaceless souls around you. No, here and there, when we start to squeeze in time, you find that in that busy schedule, you are able to take out time, but the need has to be realized. I require that. Just like how I require water, I require food to sustain myself. So I require this time for myself to sustain myself. So the need has to be realized from the depth. Only then I will take the initiative of creating time for myself. Otherwise, I can just while away my time in my own ways. It is not that 24 hours I'm busy. 8 hours, as God says, it is for your time to do your job. 8 hours you sleep. Rest 8 hours you give to your family, friends, everything. Even then, you have some 20 to 30 minutes for yourself. So, at a stress, if I'm not able to take out time, let me take out time for 1 minute every hour, 1 minute every half an hour. Realize that this is not a beautiful technique of traffic control of thoughts for busy people. And I can say that our previous head of the institution, Brahma Kumaris, Dadi Janaki, she was so busy going around the world, doing service, meeting people, teaching people, guiding people. And whenever we meet her and say, Dadi, aap busy hai, she used to say, Nahi, I'm easy. So why did she come to that level with authority that I am easy? Because she could create that easiness inside herself. She could create that time for herself. She could create the time to heal herself. So, this is what I should feel, that it is a need of time and it is a requirement for me. It is an urgent need. And this is what I want to say. It is an urgent need for each and every person. And
Perfect. Yeah, you're saying something. Sorry.
if time permits, I would just like to take everyone into a journey of meditation or relaxation for a few minutes with
Sure.
guided
Please.
meditation.
Please, please,
Yeah,
please.
yes.
Just before Chavan, before you do that, Kanishka, there is one question that is there on YouTube that probably you can answer, and then we can go into the meditation bit. The question is by Rashmi Khare, and she has asked that I also want to do research in Raj Yoga. Please guide me.
Okay, so I think from your channel, through your channel, they can get connected to SpARC link. They, like, if she is already following any kind of meditation practices, very important for anybody to understand that being into the domain of meditation research, it is always important to keep yourself separate from the bias of any kind of results which you might obtain from the research. So yeah, I will provide my mail ID in the description, so she can mail me and we can get connected, and yeah, then we can proceed to it.
Sure. So you can add the mail ID over here in my on the private chat, and I'll just share it in
Yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Chayaban, if you could be kind enough to take us through the
Yes, yes, yes,
meditation.
sure. So, just for few minutes, wherever we are seated, please sit at ease and comfort. As I look at my body, I find that with this comfortable position that I'm seated, my body is at ease. My legs, my thighs, stomach, chest, shoulders, face, my whole body is completely relaxed. Now, slowly, I bring my conscious to the middle of the forehead, where the life energy resides. I am just the sparkling star in the middle of the forehead. As I tune myself to be this star, I slowly move away from the thoughts of this world, the noise outside. I just create one thought. I am the being of peace. I am the sentient energy, radiating peace. Within seconds, I find my mind is completely relaxed. There is a deep stillness within me, deep inner silence. It's like a clean, clear river flow. My thoughts and vibrations of peace pass into this atmosphere around me. And as these vibrations become stronger, it spreads to the world. Each and every soul is into this circuit of peace. And slowly, vibration spreads to the nature, animals and birds. I find the realization of being at peace is so deep. I slowly instill the practice of being at peace time and again to spread the vibrations of peace to the world, to the nature. This is my utmost responsibility. The need. I also realize I connect to the source, the ocean of peace, the Supreme Father, the bright star. I'm embraced by his soothing light and warmth. There is a deep healing taking place. I can let go of the unwanted thoughts that I've been holding. Let me realize this is the eternal connection between me and my Supreme Father. Let me sustain this time and again. Let me hold on to this eternal relationship with Him. Om Shanti. Thank you. As you open your eyes, move your body. You realize you are at peace and ease. Thank you. Om Shanti. Thank you.
So that was a really powerful experience. Thank you, Chayaban, for helping us, guiding us through that particular process. And I hope all of you are watching us who have been with us on this journey have been able to benefit from the same. In the end, it's just been too good. So I'm just going to say thank you to all of you so that you can continue enjoying that experience that Chayaban has taken you through. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us
Just a
today.
small announcement. No,
Please.
I think from 19th we will be starting with the 7, that is the 14 days course, and maybe everybody will be getting the link, and it is a request that all of them join the course and take the benefit of Rajyoga meditation, the science behind Rajyoga meditation, the secrets of subconscious mind, which will be starting on 19th, I suppose. So a small request from our side. Thank you so much.
So the links have already been shared on the
Yes.
group on YouTube. I'm also sharing it on Facebook in a moment or so. All of you who are interested, please fill in the form and connect with the right sort of people here, because now you know exactly who you need to connect with so that you can get the right information and then obviously be able to make use of these meditations as a part of your day-to-day life. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us over here. Thank you, Chayaban. Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you,
Kanish.
Nitin Bhai. See,
Thank you.
thank you so much for your beautiful initiative.
Thank
So
you. Take care.
thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. Bye-bye.